Welcome back to the Sweet and Spicy Podcast. My name is Kate.
And I'm Cecily.
And we have some bad news, guys. So we were planning on doing another episode after this one, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, we will not be able to do that. So this will be the last episode for the year. We will be back on... What will it be? We'll come back on January 16th. So we're going to have a couple weeks of a break, guys.
It's a sabbatical.
It's a sabbatical. We'll be back. We'll be back with the rest of season 2. Kate will finally cover the books that she said she was going to cover. One of which is sitting behind me over on that shelf. But yeah, guys, we really just we're sad that we're not coming back, but due to some unforeseen stuff and timing, we just can't make it work. So, we'll be back just in the new year. So this is going to be our last holiday episode.
I mean,
so
until
Cecily,
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, until Valentine's Day. Ooh, that'll also be our 1 year.
Holy crap, it will be. We've kind of done a lot in a year.
We have. We've covered 2 seasons. Almost fully 2 seasons. I think at that point it will be our season finale too. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Please enjoy this beautiful, beautiful holiday episode that Cecily has brought to us.
So
take it away, Cecily.
This is There Arose Such a Clatter, Tales from the Naughty List by C.M. Nakasta. And if you recognize that author,
her.
That would be the Milking Farm author.
Yep.
So,
love her.
She is definitely a monster-loving girly. And this is a series of shorts about Krampus. So your trigger warnings.
How many shorts are there?
Like 5, but like, woo,
okay.
Your triggers.
Are they different Krampuses?
No. It's all the same.
Okay.
It's actually interesting. So,
okay,
your
we'll go
trigger
through
warnings.
And then we'll get into this.
Yes. Shush. Dubious consent, like a lot of that. Like I don't even like. Yeah, very dubious. Consensual non-consent, lots of that. Forced punishment, spankings, sex as punishment, sex work, forced orgasm, human non-human relationship. Fantastically long tongue because it's Krampus. She basically said, this anthology features monster-human relations of an extremely sexual nature and is only intended for mature audiences. However, I am not mature in the slightest, but that's a different kind of maturity.
I think you're the maturity she wants.
She does have, I thought this was neat, says, though our horned lord of punishment may glorify force, spankings, and dubious consent, please know that your author does not. The attitudes and opinions of the characters are not necessarily held by the person on the other side of the keyboard. If you're in an unsafe situation at home, the National Domestic Violence Support Network offers confidential support 24/7, 365 at 1-800-799-SAFE, which is 7233. And I like that she included that. Because there are people who get stuck in relationships like this and think, like, if it's been talked about and discussed and you're doing it safely, that's one thing. But if somebody's treating you like this and didn't get any kind of consent from you in the beginning, big time red flag. Major problems.
Guys, consent is very key, especially in things like BDSM and stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, there are people who like to get...
one of the main foundations.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who like some things that you don't think people would normally like, and they could border on, like, very concerning. But if someone's doing that to you consensually, that's one thing. If it's non-consented, that's a whole other problem. So,
for those of you listening to us, I just want to say I'm so sorry. I was about to call this one mochi. This is not mochi. This is tofu. Mochi was just screaming out the door. That's why I'm thinking of it. Tofu has just headbutted the microphone. So I'm so sorry to those of you who could hear that.
Oh, is that what that was?
He's very cute, though. He's very cute, very sweet. He's got a little business tie, guys.
He's a very cute void.
For kisses. He's giving me kisses. And also, if you see his butt, yes, he has a shaved butt. It's called a sanitary shave. He needs it.
I have his brother boy. And can testify to the necessity of the shaved booty hole.
It's very important.
Look at his face. He's like, do we have to talk about this?
Look at his little tie.
He's trying to distract us from talking about his booty. He's like, Mom, I didn't consent to that. Too.
And that is what is important. I'm so sorry, little boy. Because guess what? Children's consent exists as well. Guys, not for the sexual stuff. Children should never be involved in that. That's absolutely fucking abhorrent.
I was going to say, please clarify that statement. Oh.
I clarified. My clarification on children have consent rights is if a child
to be put on the internet.
That too. Also, if a child does not want to hug you, the child does not have to hug you. I don't care who you are. I stand by my statement. Okay. A child does not have to hug you just because you're their family member. It's weird. Don't make them hug you if they don't want to. Sorry. I have a soapbox for that.
Apparently. I lost my train of thought.
I'm so sorry.
Here it
We're
comes.
talking about Krampus.
Krampus. So obviously Krampus comes from German Bavarian traditions. Lots of places over there like that, and Krampusnacht was December 5th. And basically, Krampus is the opposite of Santa Claus. He comes to punish the naughty.
Doesn't he throw them in a sack and beat them?
So there's a bunch of varieties of tales. There are those where he takes them into a basket and they go somewhere. There's others where he throws them in a bag and beats them. There's also the Belsnickel, which is similar to Krampus, but unrelated. Either way, they come and they whip you, and, because you're on the naughty list. So, what's crazy about this book is...
Don't be on the naughty list, children.
The first chapter or short story is called Santa's Workshop, or A Good Girl's Lament. It opens...
Before we get into this, I found this out like a couple years ago, and I didn't think of it until now, and I wanted to tell you about this. From my understanding, Germany actually has a Krampus festival where people fully dress up as Krampus and go to this festival, and they can pretty much do whatever.
Yeah, it's a big thing. It is a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we try to have them here, and there's one in Orlando where it's fun and games during the day, but at night it gets a little seedier. But I think the one in Germany is wild. And those costumes are... And if you go on TikTok, you can find it, and there's pictures of some of the women eyeballing these men in the Krampus costumes. So, they need to listen to the podcast.
Yeah, they do.
So, Santa's Workshop.
When you said the tongue trigger, it made me think of, what is that movie? I've never seen it. I've just seen one scene of it where the alien is trying to pick up the girls at the bar. I think it's Earth Girls Are Easy, or something like that.
Believe it or not, I haven't watched that one.
I've literally seen one scene of it. Basically, this alien dude has a giant tongue, and he's at a bar talking to these women, and he literally gets a cherry out of the bottom of one of the tall drink glasses, and it's weird. It just popped up on my For You page one day, and I was like, what the fuck is this? So it's an old movie, I guess. And he legitimately just reached down into the cup, grabbed the cherry out. I'm sorry. Grabbed the cherry out, and then, did his thing. And the girls were literally like, oh no, he's taking me home. He's taking me home. And then one girl comes in, he's taking me home. And it's like, what the hell? To be honest, I get it, but still.
I mean, it makes sense. It's valid. Anywho.
Sorry.
This is called Santa's Workshop, or Good Girl's Lament. So it opens up with it being the off season, so it's not Christmas time exactly, and Krampus is headed to his other job, which is apparently in like the Christmas land mythical North Pole area. And basically, did one of your books just fall on its own?
It didn't fall, but it's definitely crooked, so I think, I don't know what happened, so let me fix that real quick.
You have a
It's
ghost.
bothering me.
You have a ghost.
No, I have a candle lit for that one.
But you also have a ghost.
What do you mean I also have a ghost?
Something's up.
No, I think it's just the stuff wiggle.
Mm-hmm.
They're very precariously balanced over there.
Sure.
Don't tell me I have a ghost. You're gonna be at my house later, so don't tell me there's a ghost. Do you want to try to talk to a ghost at my house? Do it.
Sure.
I don't want to. Never mind. I'm scared to find out. I'd rather let be alone.
So, Krampus is at his other job, which is apparently a sex dungeon called Santa's Workshop. And because Santa exists in this, but he doesn't really keep on with the magic because it's modern times. He's upgraded and everything's easy and automatic. So like the elves and stuff are out of work, and apparently they all work at Santa's Workshop, which is the dirty workshop. And like the elves are like prostitutes and strippers and things. And yeah, it's wild. Krampus works there though, and you can go line up to get spanked by Krampus.
Oh my god!
So Krampus is going to his job here. He has like a little throne in the dungeon that he sits on, and he spanks the people, but he's just complaining about his tired feet and how tired he is of everything, and he's just very blur. And like different ones come in and he smacks them, and then this one girl comes in, and the thing is, once Krampus has punished you or had you, he can smell you anywhere and find you. So this is a girl named Dara, and she shows up desperate for Krampus, and he recognizes her because a year or so ago, Dara's friend was on the naughty list, and Krampus came for her, and Dara got spanked by guilty by association because she was there. And ever since that night, Dara can't get off unless, she's getting like pleasure and pain or some spanking going on. And her boyfriend broke up with her because of it, because he's like, why can't you just be normal? Which, rude.
That is a rude thing to say to someone, but honestly, if you're not into something that somebody else needs, that is a reasonable reason to be like, hey, nicely, to be like, hey, I'm just not into that. I hope you find your person that is. I'm not okay with that. Goodbye.
Well, they didn't do that. So,
no.
She's been desperately seeking, and she came to the sex dungeon hoping to get spanked, and then she is thrilled to realize that it's Krampus. It's him, because that's who she's been missing. So they have fun there, and he goes to spank her again and starts talking about remembering her and the night he found her. So she offers him to come live with her, to come be like to stay with her year round, and like he could live with her like room and board, but so she can get her rocks off with him. And he's like, a kept mouse? You want the Krampus to be a kept mouse? But then he thinks about it, and he thinks about his tired feet and the horde of deviants who come to be spanked by him, and he's like, you know what? I like it. This one's nice. She smells nice. She tastes nice. She's a good one. Let's do this. So Krampus goes to be her live-in love slave, basically.
I'm so sorry for those if you could hear my phone.
Then the next chapter is
my
called
mother called me.
Nice. The sub, or Krampus meets his match. And so at this point you're not certain. It doesn't really fill you in. It just goes to the next story. But you last knew Krampus was living with Dara. Well, it's Christmas time now, and this single mom, she's divorced, she has a son, split custody, all that. And she's making like these homemade gingerbread cookies for his Scouts bake sale. And she was up early to do it, and she was using fresh ginger because she forgot the ginger from the store and this whole thing. And she's like talking about all these pressures to be a perfect mom because everyone acts like she chose her career over her husband, and that's why they're divorced. And it's very rude and backward thinking. But anywho, uh, she's baking cookies, and Krampus shows up at her door. And she's like, what the heck is happening? And prior to that, she was talking about how she was looking forward to her work trip she was going to be on, because even though there's a sex dungeon outside of her town, she does it when she's far enough away so that it never makes gossip in the local area, because she has a pristine reputation. So anywho, Krampus shows up looking for a kid, and she freaks out thinking he's looking for her son, but it's not her son, it's the son's stepbrother, who she says, is a bully little kid, and she doesn't want him to endure that, because she doesn't want her kid to get it. So she offers Krampus a trade. What if I take the punishment instead? Because the reason she goes to the sex dungeons is because she is a high profile boss babe. She likes to be a sub in the sex dungeons. That's very common. She likes to do that because then she doesn't have to think. She just does what she's told. So she offers to take the punishment, and Krampus thinks about it for a minute, and then he tells her it'll be the adult punishment rather than the children's one. But he's like, all right. And ends up, he starts spanking her, and he can tell she likes it. She's very like, oh yeah, best decision ever. This is not even a punishment, but she's trying to pretend like it's a punishment. But Krampus is still a magical being, and he knows better. So he allows her to play her pretend and keeps beating her, and then like gets to the strap, because I guess you can upgrade from the branches to a strap to his hand, all kinds of stuff. Krampus just, you're gonna get beat by Krampus. So, he ends up having lots of fun with her before he goes on his merry way. The cool thing is, at the end of it, he snaps his fingers, and it's, like, back to normal, like it never happened, so you're there, like, questioning, did this really happen? Like, he had tore her nightgown, taken off her apron, made a whole mess everywhere, and then after he snapped, he was gone, kitchen was clean, her nightgown wasn't torn, everything was back to normal, and she's sitting there like, did I dream this? What?
Was this just a daydream?
And the funnest part of this, which was mentioned, Krampus's tongue is like really, really long and can grow with the magic. So like a big trick of his while he's doing this is to lick while he's boning. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. You're welcome.
That's an image.
That is an image. Tell me about it.
That's an image.
Yeah, it happens a lot. So it just keeps going from there. And they're short stories, but it's wild.
I'm just gonna also preface by saying Mochi. Mochi keeps screaming outside the door. But also Tofu is very vocal today. Apparently.
I haven't heard him.
He's been chatting around.
So Krampus leaves her. And the next one is called The Stroke of Midnight, or A Well-Mannered Host. And it's Davina Devlin.
Stroke of Midnight.
Davina Devlin, who just hosted a beautiful Christmas party for all the social elites. She had the mulled wine. She had a huge Christmas tree by the staircase, decked out in lights and garland and baubles and crystal and glass ornaments, so it reflects all the lights, and everybody's in their finery, and it was just a great party. And then she sits there. She's waiting. The party's stopped. Everything's ended. She's just waiting by the grandfather clock, having another drink, and then pours one for Krampus because she's expecting him. Like, she knows she's on the naughty list and she's expecting Krampus. And it talks about her stepping over the red that's pulling the floor. So you're kind of like, what's happening? So Krampus shows up, and her whole thing is about how she's such a gracious host. So she offers Krampus a drink and then asks if he would dance with her because she's thinking maybe she can manipulate Krampus and get out of her punishment. But Krampus is like, this won't work the way you think it is, but I do so enjoy the civility. And he enjoys his drink, and they have a dance, and she's like, talks about his, all of them talk about how he smells like spiced oranges in the forest in winter, and like he's like a big, like, this Krampus is like shaggy goat man, black hair everywhere with fur pelts in a basket, and his twisted horns, and his hooves, and then his freakishly long tongue. But everyone talks about how nice he smells and how broad he is. So they dance.
Honestly, though, that sounds like a wonderful smell.
Yes, he smells like Christmas. It just smells like Christmas. I mean, I don't know what more you could want. So, anywho, he dances with her, and, like, he's, like, a marvelous dancer, because he's from the old country, of course, and, or just he's a magical being, I don't know. Either way, they have a heck of a good dance, and he tells her, you know, you're not going to escape your punishment, but for such wonderful graciousness, perhaps a reward. And she's like, let's just dance a little longer for the reward, and they do. And he, like, has her lifted up where her legs are, like, off the floor, and she's kind of, like, rubbed against him a little bit, and she positions herself.
She's kind of just hovering.
Yep. And so she starts doing that way. And she's talking about it, and he's like, you can't escape your punishment. And he's talking about embezzling, bribery. She was apparently embezzling money from a charity she had set up. And then, of course, the big one.
A what?
Yeah. After he's, like, they're getting really frisky now, and finally, after she's, like, rubbed herself off on him, he, like, starts to fuck her and tells her that maybe if your husband had done this to you properly, you wouldn't have got into such trouble. It really isn't your fault. If he had done this properly, he wouldn't be laying there in a pool of blood now, would he? She killed her husband. And she was stealing.
I figured that's where you were going with.
Yeah, she was stealing and embezzling the money because she was planning on running away from him, because she used to be a dancer, but she married him and all the money and all that stuff, but she was tired of him because he was throwing a fit that she used a casket of his good wine for the party, and he was going off about it, and she's like, he has tons down there in the cellar, and if the servants had thrown away the barrel like I told them to, this wouldn't even happen. And they got in a fight, and she threw a crystal at him and shattered his brains. So,
damn.
You know, Krampus has his funs with her, and then he tells her, like, in you go, and he puts her in the basket. I don't know what happens to her when she goes in the basket, but she's gone because she was actually on the naughty list.
So I know that some versions of Krampus, he actually takes the naughty people, or naughty children, he takes them to his house or his lair.
Yeah.
And they get trapped in cages.
And they're, like, tortured forever. So I think that's what happens, but it doesn't really say. And he doesn't go back there, so I kind of don't know. Although I have a guess based on the next story, which is called Melikalikamaka, or The Vacation. And it is as ridiculous as it sounds. Krampus goes on vacation to Hawaii. And it talks about him wearing a straw hat around his horns and a Hawaiian shirt instead of his basket. Like, legit, he doesn't have any kind of magical hiding. He's just there on freaking vacation in Hawaii.
Like, Krampus said, I don't want to hide.
You know those Bigfoot videos where it's like,
enjoy myself.
Bigfoot checking out a city here? That's what I could think of, but like Krampus, because he's always wearing like a Hawaiian shirt. Yeah.
His Hawaiian shirt, I'm just imagining it having little Krampus faces, like cartoon Krampus faces on it.
Hilarious. So he's talking about how nice everything smells and how he just wanders the beach. He has massages. He eats great at the buffet. He's like, I needed this. I deserve this. Um, but Santa's bugging him, trying to find out when he's going to be back. And he's like, I'm not answering this. I don't need this crap. And so...
Krampus is like all of us on vacation when we get emails or text messages like, I'm not on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Leave me alone.
Nah, dog. Peace out. So, anywho, while he's there, it talks about how he was like out one night and these girls were like flirting with him and just like lined up on a blanket for him to go have a turn with each one of them. Krampus is having a great time, but
so Krampus is over there having an orgy.
Basically, but he does find that he misses Dara from the beginning a little bit, and he's trying to run away from that, and he talks about how he left her there in tears because he had a job to do, but he still kind of misses her hominess. So then someone notices him, and he's like, for the most part he's been left alone, but then someone notices him and he calls her like a cream puff because she's German. He's like specifically Bavaria. Her husband's a baker, she's his wife, but he's like, the Bavarian cream puff is noted. And she comes up to him and is like, are you the Krampus? You're him, Krampus. And he's like, really? Go away. Unless you want, to end up on my naughty list, go away. He just wants to be left alone and enjoy his desserts from the buffet. So she leaves, but she keeps coming back. And then she's like, what if I wanted to be on your naughty list? And he tells her what would happen and then sends her on her way. He's like, you're too good to be on my naughty list, because he could smell like the goodness versus the badness. And so he's still just like, leave me alone. And then he tells her exactly what would happen, how he would spank her and choke her on his cock until she gagged and all this other stuff. And she's like, but what if I want that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's intense. So anywho,
it sounds intense, but honestly, this is what I would expect from a Krampus book.
True. So finally he has enough, snaps his fingers, and they're in the magical forest that him and Santa originated out of, that's full of magic and is probably like deep in the Black Forest of Germany somewhere. And she's like completely naked. He's out of his Hawaii gear and he's got his furs in his basket, and he's like, here you go. So he starts.
Imagine him with like a snorkel mask and a snorkel.
Krampus on vacation, man.
Like,
it's like somehow
I was trying to go see the fishies.
It's even better because, like, how they post stuff with like Santa on vacation all the time. Well, Krampus is just even funnier. So, he starts playing with her, and then at one point, he binds her to the tree, but by binding her to the tree, he pierces her nipples with the pine needles, and she's held up by her nips. And, yeah. I was like, oh my, ouch.
Ow!
Exactly. So,
you know what? Some people are into that. I am not one of them, but some people are into that.
So they have lots of playtime in the forest, and then snap fingers. They're back in Hawaii. No bruises, no marks, no pine needles in her titties. Everything's back to normal. Then Krampus starts thinking, because apparently Krampus...
There I am, barbecue sauce on my titties.
Apparently Krampus also likes men, so he's thinking about trying to find a couple, because he's like, how long has it been since I was buried in some sweet you know what, and he's like, because he talks about maybe one of the old Mrs. Clauses at Santa's workshop with like one of the reindeer shifters balls deep in him in the middle.
Oh,
And I was
damn.
like, dang, Krampus.
Where's that book?
Right? She didn't write that one. But he talks about that, and he's like thinking about how to find a couple. Well, then here comes the little Bavarian cream puff back, except this time her husband's behind her. And she's like, could we go again, but with both of us and my husband watch? And he's like, saves time trying to find somebody receptive. Another snap of the fingers.
Damn.
So Krampus had a very productive vacation down in Hawaii.
He seems like he had quite a relaxing time.
I mean, the beach, massages, buffet,
Pine needle
orgasms.
titties.
Like, that's peak vacationing right there. Just saying.
We are never gonna get monetized with half the stuff we say. Oh my god.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So, then he realizes, though, he really does want to go home. And he misses Dara. So he goes, and the last chapter is called And to All a Good Night, or A Good Girl's Triumph. And he goes back and he's watching her house, and he sees that she has some kind of boyfriend now who's like reclined in the chair, and he kind of watches her for a day or two, and then he figures out how he's going to make his move. So he goes and reports into Santa Claus, and he takes the guy's name and acts like the guy is trying to create his own gift distribution business, because he said Santa basically operates like a gangster now. And so he sicks Santa on him to take care of it. And then
Yes.
Dara's talking about how miserable she is and all this other stuff and how much she misses him. And he watched her in the window in the morning. She was like trying to make like a orange, like she's trying to recreate his smell, and she can't. So he shows up at her house after the guy's gone, because the guy like ghosted her, was gone. She didn't hear a word from him because he got abducted by Santa Claus. But
I was gonna say Santa can't send his elves in.
exactly. So she comes home one day and Krampus is there. She's like, you're back. And she can't decide if she's excited or mad. And he basically, talks about, he's like, I am back. And he just kind of plays it off. And he's like, you've been a very naughty girl and need to be punished. I had to clean that man's stranger's scent from my chair and like the bed. But here's the thing. Krampus had first stayed with her just kind of being kept. But he realized the longer he stayed there, he was like emptying the dishwasher, doing the laundry. He was like creating a life with her. So when she comes back,
house husband.
he was, and when she comes back, she realizes he's washing laundry, the dishwasher is empty, and everything's like been changed and cleaned because he's came back and resumed his chores. And then they lived happily ever after, except when he has to leave to go punish people.
Yeah.
The end. Just a bunch of little Krampus stories. Even Krampus wants a partner.
Evidently, she's okay with him going off and doing whatever he does.
I mean, if he goes off and does that one night a year, but you have him 364?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Krampus. It kind of, I don't know, it feels like it'd be worth it.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. It just kind of feels that way.
But to be fair, I would make him get tested every time he came back. I don't know where he
That is fair, because he does talk about unleashing his seed in a lot of them, and I'm like, sir, you're bareback in this? Maybe the magic keeps it clean?
Maybe the magic removes everything.
IDK.
Like, can he... I'm curious, though. Can he get one of them pregnant or no? Because he's a goat man.
I'm assuming not. It's probably something to do with the magic, but these are good questions.
Maybe.
But it was a cute story, and it kind of like, wraps it up for Christmas in a very much a sweet and spicy
that it
way.
starts and ends. I like that it starts and ends with the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. Hi, Tofu. Baby boy. Hi, little sir. How are you? What? What? Sorry. He's here.
But yeah, that's it. Krampus tongue. A Merry Krampus to you all.
Merry Christmas.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, if you'd like to stay up to date with us, follow us on Instagram.
We
If you would
will
like to see
at
our
least
beautiful
try to
little
be more
faces.
active on Instagram if we're not trying to record. Because honestly, sometimes
Yes.
that's what it comes down to. It's like I either have time to Insta or I have time to record. I have time for nothing. Life is hell.
And I feel like y'all would prefer an episode.
Existence
So.
is misery. Or whatever that saying is.
Anyway, if you'd like to keep updated, please follow us on Instagram. Our link tree will be in the bio in the description below, as well as our YouTube, our Spotify, anywhere that you don't listen and you want to listen, it'll be down there. If you do want to see our lovely little faces, you can follow us over on Instagram?
YouTube.
On YouTube to watch us, and you'll see cute cats like Mr. Tofu here. He's got a little tie. He's very excited for you all to see him.
He's very professional.
He is. Hims is the manager
He's dressed for the
of
job
the
he
Sweet and
wants.
Spicy podcast.
Quit bumping the mic, bro.
He's equipment manager.
He's just like, bang. So, anywho, we hope you all have a wonderful holiday, whatever you celebrate. I believe it's Hanukkah right now.
If you celebrate anything.
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, and a Festivus for the rest of us. And Happy New Year.
Oh my god.
So,
Anyway.
may all your dirty dreams come true.
Double, stop hitting the microphone.
Happy reading.
Bye. Tofu, I can't see.